Hi, I'm Gretel Jane, relationship coach and trauma therapist for separated parents. I am talking today about communicating with your ex-partner and managing conflict because it's a really, really huge part of the drama, of dealing with the drama and navigating that drama that you experience when you separate. And that communication with your ex is a real bugbear, and it's a really tough one. And, when you're in relationship with anyone, especially in an intimate relationship, all of your stuff comes up. And, when you separate, all of your stuff comes up even more. When I say what I mean by your stuff is all the things that upset you, that trigger you, that, all of the things that you find hard, all of the ways that you avoid conflict, the way that you try and you people please, the way you try and make things okay for other people, the ways you don't speak your truth, all of those things, all of the ways that you're not in alignment with who you really are. You know, it really comes up in relationship, and then when you separate, even more so. So there's actually a lot to this topic, but I just want to talk really briefly today about a very practical conflict management formula that you can really start to feel into and start to use as you feel ready to. So there's a lot to this, there's a lot of depth to it, but we're really just going to start with this today. So there's really two parts to this conflict management formula. You can use it in any relationship where there's any conflict, actually even conflict within yourself, but that might be a conversation for another day. Today we're focusing on just communicating with your ex better by managing that conflict that you have with each other a little better. So it actually takes, to do this fully effectively, it actually takes a lot of inner work on your part. And I'm going to repeat that, your part, not anything that they need to do differently, because they are how they are, and they, you can't control what they say or do or anything like that. And yet you can focus on yourself and how you're feeling and how you're controlling what's happening inside you. So that's where you go. So really, this conflict management formula is very simple, but like I said, a little bit harder to actually do, but so worth starting to lean into and starting to feel and experiment with, because being able to communicate with your ex-partner, particularly if you're co-parenting with them, you have children with them, and you have to deal with them in some way, particularly powerful and particularly useful in becoming a calmer parent, a happier person, just more like yourself, and to move through some of the drama of separation. So let's talk about this conflict management formula. First step is to meet the other person where they're at emotionally. Simple, right? It's literally just meeting the other person where they're at, like emotionally. That's it. Like it's with no judgment. You're not allowed to have any judgment here. It's just literally slowing everything down. Okay, meeting them where they're at. That's it. Step two is to speak your own truth without watering it down. So I'm going to elaborate on each of these steps a little more, so hopefully they're a little clearer. The first step, you must get right first before you can get to the second. And the premise behind this is that you can say anything from a place of love, right? You can say anything from a place of love, and you don't care who this person is. They might be your ex-partner who, you really can't stand right now. And yet you're opening up a place of love. And essentially it's probably more for you than it is for them. So if you can think about it like that, great. And so, like I said, this does require, some work on yourself to start with, but essentially it's meeting them where they're at, just opening up a space of love, like emotionally, and just holding it. That's it. There's no judgment. There's no agreeing with them. There's no, or you don't have to, you don't need to agree with them. You're literally just allowing them to be how they are in the moment with no judgment, and just meeting them where they're at. So it might sound like, okay, I can hear that I'm hearing that you're quite angry about this. That's it. There's no judgment. There's no trying to make sense of it. There's no reacting. There's nothing coming from you. It's just, okay, I'm just acknowledging where they're at, right? From how you're sensing it. That's it. Let them speak. It's like, okay, so I'm feeling that you're quite angry and frustrated about this. And then let them speak. Whatever it is, you don't have to agree with them. Just breathe through it. Just allow them to be as they are in the moment. Allow yourself to be as you are in the moment. Because when you get this step of meeting them first, you get to speak your whole truth after that. Because in a lot of the time we feel like we won't get the chance to speak our own truth, or we have to jump in first. But that's actually not the case. And this is going to be a little bit counterintuitive at first, because we have these reactions that come up inside us, and we feel like we've got to jump into the drama and we've got to be a part of it. And we've got to speak our truth, and we've got to say, how we feel. But ultimately, meeting the other person first just slows everything down. It might catch them by surprise, actually. They might take it as an opportunity to, if there is a lot of conflict going on, to rant and rave and carry on. And I want to say that, in the case of narcissistic abuse and, people who try to manipulate, when they start to, and that's actually a whole nother video, which I will put in here as well, because I have some personal experience to share when it comes to narcissistic abuse. But for someone who's a little bit more manipulative and wants to rant and be rude, and that kind of thing, then this is where you put your healthy boundary in, and you say, okay, so like I said, I can see that you're really angry and frustrated about this. I don't let anyone speak to me like that. So we're going to need to talk. I really want to hear what you have to say, but we're going to have to talk at a time when we can speak with each other kindly. That's it. So all of this stuff can be quite difficult if you've never done it before, but just allow that seed to be sown in your head as to, this is how you can manage conflict. And it absolutely works like a bloody treat when you do it. So start to experiment with how it feels. Just meet the other person where they're at. It just takes you stepping out and not engaging, even when every fiber of your body might be pulling you in to engage because you're triggered, you're angry too. So it might take taking a deep breath. And you know what? If you're not able to, you're so angry or you're so dysregulated, you're so frustrated, whatever, that you're not able to meet them where they're at, then literally just say, okay, I can see you're really angry about this, so am I. So actually you are meeting them where they're at in doing that, but you're also acknowledging your own feelings. I'm really angry too. We're not going to be able to hear each other in this state, so we have to talk. We're going to have to talk later. When are you available? I don't know, whatever is the right thing for you. But I hope you're getting the gist here, that it's about stopping and meeting the other person where they're at, just meeting them where they're at from where you're at. And, if you're not in a position to be able to hold a space, then you take a break and you come back where you are. And it's literally holding that space, meeting them where they're at, is just about listening. It's not about agreeing. It's not about making what they're saying okay, nothing like that. It's literally just listening and allowing them to talk. And so once they've done that one, and they might actually be quite surprised that you are listening and allowing them to talk. And then when they talk, it's just like, uh-huh, oh, okay, uh-huh. You know, while you're listening to them, you're not judging whether it's right or wrong. You're not saying whether you agree or not, because you may not agree at all. They may be talking utter crap, in your opinion. And yet it's literally just meeting them where they're at. And you're going to have to energetically feel that too, like to actually go, okay, I'm just going to listen. And that's okay. They're frustrated too. And then when they have managed to speak and say their piece, then you get to speak your truth. So you've already said, here's an example. You've already said, okay, I can see you're really angry and frustrated about that. Okay, I really want to know how this is for you. So they tell you, and you just listen. You zip it and you listen, and you listen, and you listen. And when they've said their piece, they've completely cleared out, then you say, okay, all right, I hear you. Here's what I need though. And so you're basically saying exactly what you need to say in this situation, exactly what you need in this situation. So I hope that's really helpful to start to get a feel for, you know, this is a really powerful conflict management tool, and it's going to absolutely change the way you interact with other people, particularly your ex-partner. So please reach out to me if you'd like more information about this, or you'd like to find out more about how you can do this in your relationships, because I'm telling you, it's changed every one of mine, including with my ex-partner, which I never thought I'd be able to communicate with in a rational way again. But nevertheless, here we are. So yes, like and subscribe to this video, this channel, if this video is interesting to you. And I look forward to sharing more. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.